Hello everyone and welcome back to the Football Chuggu Podcast. My name is Thomas Durning and today I'm joined by my co-host Pearse McLaughlin. Hello Pearse.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing well. On today's podcast, we'll be giving our reaction to the Bayern Munich versus Celtic second leg match in the Champions League, reacting to last weekend's English Premier League and Scottish Premier League matches, and then at the end of the podcast, Pearse will be giving a rundown of all the latest Asian football news. So we'll start off with Bayern Munich versus Celtic. So we are literally just recording this half an hour after the match has ended. And Pearse, what a sickener. So it's ended 2-1 to Bayern Munich on the night. No, sorry, it's ended 1-1 on the night. And it's ended 3-2 in aggregate to Bayern Munich. So Bayern Munich scored in the last kick of the game to ensure that they are now into the round 16. So Pearse, what's your thoughts?
Immensely proud of Celtic in their performance tonight, and obviously over the two legs to narrowly lose by one goal. Is an incredible performance for a side from Scotland against Bayern Munich, who is one of Europe's elite clubs, who have won the Champions League, I believe, 5 or 6 times. And the wage bill and their transfer budget is not comparable to Celtic, but Celtic competed. I thought on the night, Brendan Rodgers got tactically spot on by playing Jeffrey Schlupp on the left instead of Greg Taylor, and I thought he pocketed Sani and Elise all night. That was a masterstroke, and then bringing on Adamida when you seen Jota kind of tiring a bit, and it offered that kind of physical presence because Maeda was kind of struggling in terms of the physicality of Upamecano and Kim Min-jae. And for Celtic, in the first half, they had a few chances where they should have scored. Most notably, Rafa Guerrero off the line from Nicholas Kuhn. And then Dyson Maeda kind of rushing his shot when Celtic had a 3-1 after a mistake at the back. But the goal that Celtic scored in the second half was outstanding. Just the pressing and forcing Bayern Munich mistakes. And what a goal it was. And like you say, Celtic were in dreamland and seconds away from extra time against Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena. And the manner of the goal they conceded was absolutely sickening because a rebound with 15 seconds to go after a tremendous save from Kasper Schmeichel, and I thought he had a tremendous game all night, and just there to tap in the rebound there. But really, you can see the effort they to put in on and off the ball. I thought, to a man, every player was outstanding, and they did the Celtic fans and Scottish football fans proud because I thought they competed. I thought they played better than Bayern Munich. I thought Bayern Munich, although they had all the possession, didn't really do much with it. And when they did, Celtic defended and did their keeper on task. And I thought Kasper got a brilliant game. I thought the Celtic defence, midfield and attack. But it just fell short at the final hurdle. And the words I can describe are just proud and heartbroken.
Yeah, I think Celtic, the common phrase is football is a cruel sport, and I think that really resonates with Celtic tonight because they definitely, for me, they didn't deserve to lose that game in the last kick of the game. In terms of their performance, Celtic's performance, it was quite heroic, to be fair. Got their game plan spot on. Pressed Bayern Munich high up the pitch when they had to and they could do. Defended really well. And even when they had the ball, they did keep it well at times as well. It just like you just went through some of the players there that had top games, the likes of Kasper Schmeichel for a start, many good saves. For me, I thought in the midfield, Arnie Engels played really well for Celtic tonight. Kept the ball really well. Made some good passes, especially in the first half. And for me, they definitely deserved extra time, but they're probably looking at that thinking that they should have gone through because in the first half they had two clear chances. The first one where it gets cleared off the line, and then there was one that got played across the goal and Maeda just didn't get to it in time. And then also they get the goal, which for me was deserved. And they just, obviously at the end, Bayern Munich had all the ball. They were not really pushing, but they had all the ball and trying to create things. And just at the end, they got that goal, which for me it wasn't deserved. It wasn't deserved at all. But that's the name of the game. At the end of the day, it's a tough one for Celtic, but that is for me. I don't know about you, Pearse, but that's for me in terms of a Celtic away performance in Europe. It's probably the best one I've seen in my lifetime. Because news of Celtic go to these places and they get totally wiped out. But there's definitely nothing like that tonight. And a performance like that, they'll not feel it right now, the players, but they feel like they've come on leaps and bounds in previous years. But that's the score at the end of the day. Last kick of the game, Celtic get knocked out of the Champions League. It's a sickener. But that's the story at the end of the day. You got any more lasting thoughts on that, Pearse? Just the match?
I'm probably clutch at straws.
What about Bayern Munich? Were you impressed with them tonight or not?
I wasn't. No, I thought they were an average side. If I'm being brutally honest, I thought with the quality they have, I thought sometimes their play was far too slow. And that's most noticeable. Harry Kane came off at half-time as well. Thought Gnabry wasn't really threatening. And these are players that have done it year in, year out. Top quality players, world class players, some of them. But I think Celtic for me were denied a penalty in the first leg. They had a couple of chances tonight. Well, they probably should have scored. Most noticeably the one you mentioned, the double chance they had, Kuhn off the line and then Maeda sliding centimetres away from knocking it in. And then they had a 3-1 in the first half where the ball gets played in for Kuhn to Maeda and he hits it first time where he should take a touch where there's a 3-1. He's got Jota and Kuhn either side. And that's a major opportunity. But like you say, football's a cool sport. Celtic get knocked out, but the feeling is immensely proud because, like you say, the budgets they have, the players that they have, and some of these players that have played for Bayern Munich have won Champions Leagues before, sometimes multiple. So to compete at this level and go to the Allianz Arena, knowing early on in the campaign, Celtic went away to Dortmund and lost 6-1. It just shows you the leaps and bounds that have come on, even just in this campaign alone. So I think Celtic can hold their heads high because every man you've seen gave 110%. They were dead on their feet at the full-time whistle, and it's nothing short of heroic, like you mentioned. I thought it was a tremendous performance, one of the best in recent history because Celtic, as we know, they've gone away from home and usually lose games. Go under, but I thought Celtic were outstanding and they at least deserved extra time, like you said, because I thought that's what they deserve for their efforts. And they might have put out an extra time, but I think they deserved at least extra time because they really competed and they caused Bayern Munich problems on the counter and defensively defended resolutely.
Yeah, agree with every word you said there. But I think we'll talk about it more on the podcasts. Probably next week we'll probably talk about it a bit more. But it's just right now it's just fresh in our memory. But maybe when we look into it more, we can give a bit more of an in-depth chat into the game. So yeah, but that's just the game that we just discussed. So we'll now move on to last weekend's matches. So in the English Premier League, I'll just quickly go through them. So on Friday, 14th of February, the matches finished Brighton 3, Chelsea 0. On Saturday, the 15th of February, the matches finished Leicester 0, Arsenal 2, Fulham 2, Nottingham Forest 1, Man City 4, Newcastle 0, Southampton 1, Bournemouth 3, West Ham 0, Brentford 1, Aston Villa 1, Ipswich 1, Crystal Palace 1, Everton 2. And then on Sunday, the 16th of February, there was two matches which finished Liverpool 2, Wolves 1, and Tottenham 1, Man United 0. So, Pearse, which match stands out to you the most?
I'm going to go with the Brighton 3, Chelsea 0. I thought Brighton were outstanding. Thought Mitoma and Minty were superb. Caused either fullback problems. I thought the Mitoma's goal, the long ball, the first touch, the cut inside, and then the placement, and then Minty on the other side was man of the match. Got 2 goals, and he had Cucurella on strings. And I just thought they got the game plan spot on. Chelsea didn't really threaten. Thought, and this is a team that we mentioned recently that with the young manager, Hurtzler, that he was too open in the previous games where they just left Hinchelwood on his own. But I think with Baleba in there next to him, I thought the two of them marshalled that defence superbly. And someone like Danny Welbeck is just incredible. I think for someone that was kind of injured prone at Arsenal and kind of like thrown away, he's went to Brighton, and they've got a lot of young talent. But see someone that has experience and his quality, his link-up play. Like he doesn't get a lot of goals, but his role in the team is so crucial for the young players because like he get 2 assists, but just his ability to just command defenders and create space for his wide players and his midfielders to go on. I thought he was superb, and I thought Brighton thought deserved, and that's a massive result because Chelsea are also chasing Champions League football. And I thought Brighton, yeah, like you said, I thought they were superb.
Yeah, I agree. That is my match as well, to be fair. I thought it was actually a really easy match for Brighton. I thought they could have even scored more. Uh, Played Chelsea at the park. It's quite funny because Brighton and Chelsea have this some sort of rivalry at the moment because Brighton obviously, Chelsea keep taking all their players and their backroom staff. I mean, we can go over a list of the amount of kind of players and backroom staff that Chelsea have taken the last couple of years, and you would think that would make Brighton worse, but it's actually made Brighton better, and it's made Chelsea worse. Brighton were just a really good match. Played the way they wanted to play. Scored 3 very good goals. I think you were talking there about Matoma. I think it was the first goal for Brighton. I mean, that touch was that. If whoever watching this hasn't seen it, you have to see that goal because it's probably going to be up there for goal of the season. Definitely want to be my pick for goal of the season because the touch is just ridiculous. But yeah, Brighton 3, Chelsea 0 for me. Standout match has to be because of the brilliant performance that Brighton put in. So yeah, that's my standout match from the weekend. So we'll now move on to the Scottish Premiership. So the scores were on Saturday the 15th of February, Celtic 3, Dundee United 0, Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2, Kilmarnock 3, St Johnstone 1, Motherwell 0, Ross County 3. And then on Sunday, the 16th of February, there was 2 matches which finished Hearts 1, Rangers 3, and St Mirren 0, Hibs 0. So Pearse, which match from there stands out to you the most?
I think there's only one match, Tom, and it's finally Aberdeen have won a game.
Aberdeen.
So
I knew
that's
you were going to say that.
the first win in 15 league games. That which is incredible. And it's a massive result in terms of the league as well because Dundee have now dropped into the relegation playoff spot following Ross County's win at the weekend as well. So it's massive in terms of both end of the table. And the fact is that Aberdeen, with their victory, are still in third place. And the fact is they've went on this horrible run and still in third place, it just shows you how mad Scottish football is outside the top 2, that everybody within a couple of wins, you can be top 4. Or if you lose a couple of games, you're in a relegation scrap. So it's everybody against the rest. I think it's incredible, this league. Really exciting. And you couldn't call that because I think Dundee had a good season, but they're somehow in the relegation playoff. They've had a couple of bad results recently, but they were unlucky against Aberdeen. I thought Aberdeen edged it just. I thought Kiskanen's goal was a belter. He picked up from about 25 yards and just bent it top right hand corner. And he's been someone that's came in the summer with a lot of big hype. They paid, I think it was £1 million for him. and he's not really delivered. But if he can kick on and maybe this can maybe give him a bit of confidence to then start kick on and give Aberdeen some hope. But Aberdeen have signed obviously 3 new defenders. They've lost Rubizic in the window as well. It's virtually a whole new back four. The only one remaining is Jack McKenzie, and obviously Devlin's been dropped to the bench. And then you've got big Papi Guy who's back for injury as well. So things are maybe looking up for Aberdeen, but that they thoroughly needed it more than anything. But no, that was my standard result, was Aberdeen finally getting a win in the Scottish Premiership.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're both in agreement tonight. That is for me as well. Just the fact that Aberdeen went on that massive losing run. We talk about Aberdeen every week on this podcast, but it's because of the season they're having. It's just so strange. But there was a massive 3 points for them. They had to get that result. I think you touched on the Aberdeen's first goal, or was it the second goal? I think it was the second goal. It was an absolute peach of a goal again, and our goal of the season contender. Yeah, just a massive 3 points for Aberdeen. They'll be hoping now that kind of kickstarts their season again, because they cannot afford to go on a losing run like that again, because that was far too long a run to go out without winning a match in the league. Yeah, that is my standout match. Just want to quickly touch on Motherwell. They've appointed a new manager. His name is Michael Wimmer. He used to manage Austria Vienna before this. Don't know much about him, Pearse, but it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on.
Yeah, I second your opinion. Don't really know much about him. We all know Austria Vienna is one of the biggest clubs in Austria, so decent pedigree. Remains to be seen what happens, but Motherwell really needed a manager following the resignation of Stuart Kettlewell, who was, for me, was doing a brilliant job, but they lost at the weekend 3-0 to Ross County, and they badly need someone just in to steal the ship and get them back on track, because they've had a good season to date.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll keep our eyes out on that, and we'll talk about it more on the podcast in the weeks to come. So for the final part of the show, Pearson will give his Asian football roundup.
Yeah, so we had last weekend the very first match day of K-League 1 and the J-League 1. So let's get straight into it. So the results in terms of the K-League 1, Saturday the 15th of February, we had Pohang Steelers 0, Daejeon Citizen 3, Jeju SK 2, FC Seoul 0, Gwangju FC 0, Suwon FC 0. Sunday the 16th of February with 3 matches. That was Ulsan HDFC losing 1-0 to FC Anyang, which is a shock result. Listed as the champions in the K2 winners last year. Daegu FC 2, Gangwon FC 1, Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors 2, Gimcheon Samu 1. So the top of the table at the moment, we've got Daejeon Citizen and Jeju SK, Daegu FC and Jeonbuk and FC Anyang all in the top 5 on 3 points at the start of the season. And at the bottom of the table, we've Gangwon, Gimcheon, Ulsan and FC Seoul, Pohang Steelers all yet to win a match. But opening weekend, but it's really exciting to have the K-League back. In terms of J-League 1, so we had Friday, the 14th of February, we had the Osaka Derby, and that was Gambo Osaka 2, Sez Osaka 5. And then Saturday, the 15th of February, we had Vissel Kobe 0, Ura Diamonds 0, Yokohama F Mariners 1, Alvarez Nagata 1, Yokohama FC 0, SC Tokyo 1, Avispa Fukuoka 0, Kashiru Reysol 1, Fagiano Okayama 2, FC Kyoto Sanga FC 0, Kawasaki Frontale 4, Nagoya Grampus 0, Shona Bellmari 1, Cashew Antlers 0. And then 2 matches on Sunday, the 16th of February, we had SC Machida Zelvia 1, Sanfrecce Hiroshima 2, Tokyo Verde 0, Shimizu S Pulse 1. So we've got 8 teams on 3 points at the start of the season. Kawasaki Frontale, Seizo Osaka, and Fagiano Okayama in the top 3. And at the bottom 3, we have Kyoto Sanga, Gambo Osaka, and No Grampus on 0 points after a pretty bad opening weekend. But it's good to have the J-League back as well. And in terms of other Asian football news, despite a defeat against Shandong Taishan, Gwangju last midweek, Gwangju FC have secured a spot in the AFC Champions League Elite round of 16. They also played last night, and I was in attendance, and we have a match report on that on the Football Chuggu website, where they drew 2-2 with Bayern United of Thailand, which was a brilliant match. So during the ACL elite match between Shandong and Gwangju last week, some Shandong fans held up images of former South Korean President Chun Doo-Hwan towards Gwangju supporters. Chun was a leader of a military regime that massacred Gwangju citizens, demanding democracy in 1980. So I'm sure the Shandong fans will be getting punished, and the club, because that is uncalled for and really unnecessary at a football match. So the Vissel Kobe and Kawasaki Frontale have also qualified for the Asian Champions League Elite round of 16, following Vissel Kobe's 4-0 win over Shanghai Port and Kawasaki Frontale's 4-0 win over Pohang Steelers. So Sanfrecce and Russia have also advanced to the knockout stages of the Asian Champions League 2, following their 3-0 win over Nam Ding of Vietnam. So Celtic's Japanese forward Daizen Maeda created history for them in the UEFA Champions League, as he's now scored 4 goals in a single campaign, following a straight in their 2-1 defeat last week. Maeda sits atop of illustrious list, which includes Henrik Larsson, Chris Sutton, Kenny Miller, Georges Samaras, Moussa Dembele, and Adam Ida. All of them scored 3 goals in a single UCL campaign, which is an incredible feat for the Japanese forward. And sticking on Daizen Maeda, he is a press machine, and his Champions League stats show that. So in terms of number of sprints, in match day 3, he got 41 sprints, which was second. Match day 4, 42 sprints, he was first. Match day 5, 37, he was second. Match day 6, 42 sprints, he was second. Match day 7, 45, he was first. And then match day 9, 53 sprints, and he was first. So it just shows you his off-the-ball movement and sprints is incredible. And until Ulsan HDFC, K-League 1's reigning champions, have been eliminated from the ACL Elite following their 2-1 loss to Buraham United of Thailand. And Jurgen Klopp, familiar faces, and Mario Gomez were in attendance for RB Omiya's match against Yamagata in the J-League 2 at the weekend, one of Red Bull's clubs that they own around the globe. As we know, Jurgen Klopp is now the head of Red Bull. So former South Korean national team player Hwang Ui-jo, 33, has been sentenced to 1 year in prison with a 2-year probation following illegal filming of 2 women. Incidents happened between June and September 2022. In addition, Hwang has been ordered to undergo 40 hours of sexual violence treatment programs and complete 200 hours of community service. And that is all your Asian football news.
Thank you, Pearse, and thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the Football Chuggu Podcast. This podcast will be available to listen to on the Football Chuggu YouTube channel and also the Football Chuggu website. Thanks for listening, and see you soon.
Bye-bye.